Now for the top story tonight, reaction joining us from Baltimore, Dr. Ben Carson, author of the book, America the Beautiful, Rediscovering What Made This Nation Great. So I think the tide may be turning against the Sharptons and the race hustlers in general. Do you agree, Doctor?
Well, I certainly hope so. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you for speaking out and not being intimidated by the PC police who think that just because you're white, you can't talk about what's going on in the black community. We have to recognize that we're all in the same boat in this country, and if part of the boat sinks, the rest of it goes down too. And for every one of those young people that we can keep from going down that path of self-destruction, that's one less person that we have to be afraid of or protect our families from, one less person that we have to pay for in the penal system or the welfare system, one more tax-paying productive member of society who may discover a new energy source or the cure for cancer. We can't afford to throw any of those people away, particularly during this time when we only produce 70,000 engineers a year and China produces 400,000. We have to start thinking collectively as a society and forget about all of these silly divisions. And also, you know, I think it's tremendous that you and some other people are starting to talk about the dissolution of the family, you know, in all communities, but particularly in the black community. And of course that's detrimental. Of course, you know, it's leading people into places where they shouldn't be because they're not getting that solid foundation and that anchor that they need. They're not getting the values that are so important.
Okay. But what you have here is you have two forces at work. You have, you call them the PC. I think it's much more than that. You have an industry that makes a lot of money off the racial division. All right, you have the race hustlers, the people who want to divide and keep people angry. That's what you saw in the Trayvon Martin, George Martin, Zimmerman case. It became a race thing. Black men hunted. Black men white society is contempt for black men. Bop, bop, bop. Divide, 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 divide. Big money in that. Lecture fees, Sharpton's got a TV show, all kinds of stuff. And then there's the entertainment industry that puts out this vile stuff, all right, where unsupervised children, black, white, all colors, okay, they absorb this stuff. They think it's cool, they think it's neat, so they go out. So it's a 1-2 punch, and it's powerful. And for me to stand up, for Mr. Lemon to stand up, for you to stand up, we're still standing up against people who will do anything to keep their money flowing and to keep their power intact. So it's a pretty brutal fight.
Yes, it is, but we have to continue to help people to understand what's going on. You know, this is part of a larger secular progressive movement that loves to divide people, divide and conquer. This is part of Saul Alinsky's whole plan for changing a society. And don't let any situation or any crisis go by without finding a way to exploit it, to keep people at each other's throats so they don't really see what the real problems are that are going on. We need to be using all of that energy to figure out how do we improve the situation. We need those young ladies in the black community to understand that all of those babies being born out of wedlock are much more likely to grow up in poverty and that they themselves are much less likely to finish their education. The reason that it was illegal to educate and particularly teach slaves to read is because they knew that an educated person is a liberated person. We need to start focusing on those things and forget about these artificial, divisive things that are used only to empower people.
But there's an awful lot of money for the forces of darkness, and that's really what this thing is all about. We'll continue talking to you, Doctor, and we appreciate you coming on tonight.